Now let's talk about this Pioneer DJ SP-16. The SP-16 is a sampler. I think it has 5 gigs of internal drive in it, has USB on it, has MIDI in and out. The big thing is this is a sampler with a Dave Smith Curtis filter, analog Curtis filter on it. That's a dope feature. For instance, you can sample into it to any of the pads. You can chop into 16 pieces, or slice is what they would call it. Use it to control external devices, and it also has the, I guess it's the Pioneer DJ link or whatever. This is the SP-16. The SP-16 also has kind of like a little brother synth, which in my opinion should have probably just been a part of the SP-16. So the synth is the AS1. Now, I'll go through some of the features on the AS1 in a separate video, but in this video, I'll use them together just so you kind of get an idea that they are a good pairing. Just so you know, you could do live recording sequencing. You can also do the typical kind of 808 step recording in it as well, because this is really geared towards sort of the dance music DJ, EDM DJ type of thing. But let's be honest, anything that has sequencing and recording on it, you can make hip hop with. So I just want to show you that, you know, this is a viable alternative. And the price comes in at something like whatever it says right here. And yeah, so without further ado, we'll just kind of get into this. So let's check it out. This is the Pioneer DJ Dave Smith Collabo SP-16. Okay, so as you can see, we're sitting here with the Dave Smith Pioneer DJ SP-16. Out of all the groove boxes out there, I don't know that there's another one in this sort of genre of groove boxes that has an analog filter. So it has analog drive, low pass filter. So this is the cutoff, this is the resonance. So it's a resonant analog filter, and it has the high pass, all right? And that's a Dave Smith Curtis filter. I haven't typically been, I believe it's the Curtis filter. I haven't been typically a fan of the Curtis filter, but it sounds good on this. So let's just hear what that filter sounds like right quick. So this is what it sounds like without the engagement of the analog filter. Here's what it sounds like when you engage the filter. Little resonance. I'm trying to adjust the volume for you so you can really hear what's going on. And now let's engage the drive. So that gives you an idea of what it sort of sounds like. Now that bass line is coming directly from the AS1, which is right there, just off camera. I have that MIDI'd up, and to track 5 here. All right, the drums come directly from the kit sounds, the sounds that come with the machine. And I think that's from Loop Masters. So this is kind of the urban kit stuff, and I just kind of uploaded those. That's also a sample from the AS1. It's a sample just from some random jazz record. Somebody might recognize it out there. So before we get into that, let's kind of go through the anatomy. So it has the analog filter, the drive, frequency cutoff, it's resonant, and it has the high pass filter. So that's the low pass filter with the drive, frequency cutoff, and resonance. And the high pass filter, that's all by Dave Smith. Active, inactive, output, volume here, mode, you can go pitch, repeat, user, all right? You have your touchpad here for doing modulation and mod wheel type stuff. You can assign that to different things, like for instance, pitch, repeat, and so forth. All right, so then you can go into different modes here. Like you can go to track, select a track, and that'll allow you to do different editing things. So you can select the different pads. Notice when I select the pads, you'll have the pads selected on the screen as well, right? Like so. You can also, the screen is touch sensitive, or it's a touch screen, so you can also do that and get to your different sounds and stuff. All right, easy to get back from wherever you are by just hitting back or home. So you can go into mute mode and you can start muting the tracks, turn them on and off. Like so. You can go into slice mode. So if I select this track, then I hit slice. Right. So that's slice mode, and you can go into scale like that. That will obviously work with something like a MIDI track, like so. And here, we're on that, and we hit scale. Now, here's something that's cool about the scale in this sense. So I have the AS1 MIDI'd up to track 5. Let's come out of scale mode. I have the AS1 MIDI'd up to track 5. And that's what you hear there. You can select that. You can select your MIDI channel. Select MIDI channel 5. Go back. But since I have that there, you can set the root key here. So it's on C. Let's go back. But what I want to do is set the scale. So let's turn the scale on. Let's say I don't like the 16 notes that I have access to right here. So if I don't like the 16 notes that I have access to right here, you can hit set scale and this comes up. And if you use Ableton, this may be familiar because it's a similar thing to this, how you can select all different pads or scroll through the tracks. So this is the deal. That's the root note right there. You see that one with the little triangle on the left top edge? Right, that's the root key that we set. But if I wanted different notes, I could just use this area knob. All right, so that's how you would do that kind of thing. And let's kind of go back. You can also set the scale here. So it has all the different scale modes. Hawaiian, all the way down to Japanese, whole tone, diminish. You can set the program, the bank, select your channel. So this thing, it obviously has 16 pads, right? You have your 16 steps here. So you could do the typical like 808, the Roland Classic Groovebox step programming, you could do that. And then it has your bars, bar 1, 2, 3, 4. And for every bar you go to, you'll see what's set up there. So we're on track 5, and if I hit play, we got this playing. And what I want to do is show you that I can kind of do what some of you all may know as ratcheting. Some of you all may know as repeat, and that's what it's labeled as here, repeat. Not only that, so this is kind of like P-locks if you know about electron gear. P-locks, where you can hold a step and tell it to do something totally different for that step, or tell it to do something that you didn't quite play it in there to do. So here's what I mean. So we're on bar 1. I'm going to take step 5, right? Step 5, you can change the note. It's on G3 right now. I can change it to A3, B3. You'll hear it, right? When it comes back around, you'll hear A5 is now a different note, right? You can change that back. G3, that spins back around, right? And so I want to re-trigger it. So step 5 again, I'm going to do step 5, hold down step 5, and I'm going to tell it to re-trigger 5 times. And watch what happens on step 5 of bar 1. So you can hear it repeats 5 times real quickly. It's going to come back around now. Bar 1, all right. Okay, so that's how you do that thing. All right, let's keep on going here. So the screen is I don't know if I could say it's so intuitive, but it's easy enough to learn quickly enough, right? There's a lot of information you get on there. So on this screen, you got these knobs here, and they can do different things depending on, they're kind of soft knobs, which means anything that's on the screen, they'll change to. So depending on what screen they are, here it's time stretch, pitch, pan, and you see it's lit up because it's a sample track. Pan it. Alright, pitch it up and down. And scale. Alright, so that's some of the stuff you can do. If I wanted to go into, say, Quantize, because obviously Quantize and swing is important for a lot of us that would be making hip-hop music with this joint. So you got your BPMs, you can tap tempo right there on the screen. You can change the Quantize 16, 32 off, right? 8th triplet, 8th, 16th triplet. You have all that. You can turn the metronome on and off right there. You can do the swing. Swing goes all the way up to 100%, all the way down to 0, like so. All right. And one of the things I want to call out is that this, let's get out of here. Notice this is actually a MIDI track. I'm triggering the AS1 right up there. But the point I wanted to make is that I have the output going into the input of the SP-16, and the filter works on it perfectly along with everything else that it's filtering. So That's just to tell you you're filtering the input as well as whatever's actually on there. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. Not to mention the AS1 has its own filter. So if we play that, all right. So that's it in a nutshell. There's a couple things that I really think would work for a lot of people, but I'll tell you, I didn't expect to dig the filter as much as I do, but I think that's a really nice touch on a sampler, analog filter on a sampler, especially when it's made for like dance music or cats that maybe experiment with different things. But old sample heads don't fret. I mean, this could work out for you too. I mean, you got a built-in filter. Now, the criticism that I have about this is I do not like the pads. These are not the greatest pads. I'm not a DJ, so I don't know how other Pioneer stuff, the pads that are on other DJ equipment feel. But if you're coming from an MPC or machine place, you ain't gonna like these pads. I don't know of a way to change them either because they're different size or something. So at any rate, the pads are kind of stiff. Pads are kind of stiff, and I really had to work with the curve in order to get them to respond the way I wanted to. So in order to do that, I had to kind of go here, pad sensitivity, not the curve, but the pad sensitivity. I had to turn the pad sensitivity up quite a bit in order to program that bass line. Yeah, I had to kind of really work with the pad sensitivity to really give me what I wanted. I could imagine that could be a little frustrating for some of the guys out there that may be used to something like a machine or MPC. Build quality is fine. I think the build quality is pretty good. Is this metal? It may be metal, but with plastic sides, hard plastic sides. And the screen is pretty nice. Let's see, here's the mixer, so you can easily get to the mixer right here just by hitting the mixer button. When you hit the mixer button, then you have this that selects, and you can see what it does. It's selecting each track. So if I wanted to turn the hi-hat up, I'm on the hi-hat, which is track 3. Let's play that so you can hear what I mean. Alright, so I'm gonna turn that up. I can pan it. It's these 3 knobs here. I can turn the send amount up. I have a reverb on it. I can pan it either left or right. Or leave it center. Or I can turn it up and down. Hi-hat pretty much gone away. Or for instance, let's turn the reverb down, right? So the reverb on the snare, you can tell that it's pretty high up, right? So you just turn down the send amount now that you've selected that particular track. Like so. And the way you would assign an effect is you hit that button there, select an effect. You have delay, reverb, chorus, flanger, 2-band filter, lo-fi. So you got it on 12-bit. You can sample and resample. So let's go off of mute. Let's say if I want to take this track, boom, and I wanted to sample something into it, this is how you would do it. Well, let's just go back. So back, I select the track, open it up, sample edit, just like I can go browse and bring things in. I can also just hit sample edit. You can change it from source resample or line in. I'm gonna do resample, mute everything except for the bass line. And let's see. So you can set the threshold, you can set the length. I'm going to set it to 4 bars. Track 5 is the MIDI, track 6 is the audio. So I have to solo track 6 or mute everything besides track 6 and 5 so that I can get the MIDI trigger in the AS1 and the audio coming out of track 6. And then I'm going to play so we can sample that bass line. And I have it set to 4 bars. So it should stop at 4 bars. Right. So it kept playing, but it only sampled the 4 bars. So I'll just call it bass. So that's the 4 bars, exactly 4 bars. I can hit scale, right? Or I can hit slice. So I think this is a viable piece. I love the fact that the analog filter is on there. It gives you a lot of flexibility. If you're a DJ, it's a dope piece to have because with the Pioneer gear, if you rock DJ or Pioneer gear, then you have some proprietary syncing things that you can do. You got the USB on the top. So that's how I updated the OS on it to the latest OS. And you can also put sounds and samples and stuff on there. You can run your turntables in here and sample just like I did a resample. You can go ahead and sample external sources. That's it in a nutshell. The Toraiz SP-16. Would I recommend it to someone out there? It depends on what you want to do. If you're a DJ and you're looking for that nice integration with a groove box and your DJ gear, and especially if you rock Pioneer DJ gear, yeah, it's dope. What I do like is the filter, like I said. The pads, I wish the pads were better. The pads are kind of tough and stiff and not as sensitive as I'd like them to be, but I had to kind of tweak some of that. But who knows? For DJs, I'm a producer, so it's a little different for me from what I used to. But for DJs out there, maybe that works. I don't know. So yeah, that's the Toraiz SP-16. All right. Check me out next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Go check out bboytechreport.com. Sign up for the free ebook, and there'll be more to come.